secure and extract.
At the Ubisoft booth, of course, one of the big games is Ghost Recon Future Soldier. And we managed to snag Tommy here. He's the creative director on the multiplayer. Of course, multiplayer today is very, very important for a shooter. What sets Future Recon apart from other big titles on the multiplayer market right now?
Well, I would say the one thing that sets us apart would be our intel loop. This allows the player to interact with the augmented reality in the world, collect information and intel on their enemies. This allows you to have an advantage in the case of like a power play. So we have these non-lethal takedowns. I can take my enemy down with a taser, a stun gun. I can pull the intel off of them. I can share that with my teammates. So for this short period of time now, we have positional information on all of our enemies. That's a significant difference in the way you play Future Soldier than you would play other shooters.
How is the general, what kind of feel were you aiming for on the multiplayer side of Future Soldier?
Right out of the gate, we had two objectives. We wanted to create an intense experience, but we also wanted to reward the cunning player, a guy who's going to play with his team, who's going to play the game smart, as a soldier would. You have to be intelligent on the battlefield. Intelligence is going to help you in Future Soldier as well. Now, that's not to say you can't grab the rifleman class, get the ACR, run out there and just start running and spraying bullets. You can do that, and you can have fun that way. But the systems that are in place, they encourage teamwork. They encourage you to play thinking about the objectives that are in place. So those are where the big rewards are.
Ghost Recon has an octave, been about this kind of tactical insertion. You have the soldiers going into dangerous territory. But now what we've seen is kind of a grittier, darker, in the trailer that was shown during the Microsoft conference, for example. How's the style changed during development of Future Soldier?
I think, well, the difference between Ghost Recon and Future Soldier is the future aspect of it. So when we went into the design of the characters themselves, authenticity is a very important thing to Ghost Recon franchise. So we looked at the equipment that's available to soldiers now. We have a lot of relationships with manufacturers of equipment to find out what the soldiers of the future are going to be equipped with, what type of technology they're going to have access to. So we use a lot of that in our design, not just for the soldiers themselves, but with the augmented reality that we're using in the world. That's not a fantasy. The augmented reality is something that is used by the military now. All we did was multiply it based on what we know they're using in development. So,
inside the framework of the Ghost Recon license, what's it been like for you guys to work on this license, which is a huge thing for Ubisoft?
Well, exciting, a lot of pressure, a lot of fans. Ghost Recon's been around for 10 years, so it's built up a huge fan base, and we respect our fans a lot. We love our fans, and we want to make sure that they get a product that is true to what they know about Ghost Recon, so that was a big focus for this game. At the same time, we want to introduce new people to the brand. So the range of, for example, the range that we have within the roles that you can play in the game, there are roles that will appeal to the traditional Ghost Recon fans, and then there are roles that from a guy like myself who might not be the best shooter in the game. I can take the engineer role, I can pop out a drone, I can fly the drone around and collect intel for my team, and it makes the good shooters in my team better shooters because now they know who's around the next corner. So that's, to me, that's a big part of being in that Ghost Recon fantasy, is being able to fulfill what established a franchise in the first place.
And finally, looking again at the market, these huge budget titles like now with Modern Warfare 3, we of course have Battlefield 3 coming from DICE. Where does Future Soldier fit into all this? Why should a player choose to play and dedicate their time to Future Soldier instead of, say, Battlefield 3?
Sure. Obviously, with Ghost Recon Future Soldier, we had three key ingredients coming into the game. Combat being number one. So our combat's competitive. We've got 52 guns in the game. We've got 49 attachment points. Weapon customization is a huge aspect of gameplay. It's a cover shooter. We have the most refined cover-based system out there. So our cover and our cover swap elements allow you to get into a combat situation where you've got more options than just running around a corner, pulling the trigger, and getting killed. As far as how we stand out, we feel like coming into the genre with Future Soldier, our goal was to fill a void. We wanted to reward the cunning player, a guy who wants to play with his team and use the tools that we give them in the game to outsmart his enemies rather than just outgun them. So there's a lot of the intel loop allows you access to get positional information on your enemies, get into a position where you know where they are, they don't know where you are, that allows for a lot of really compelling experiences. Now, having said that, there's a lot of equipment that's available to both sides to allow them to be effective within that intel loop. We've got over 13 ways for the player to access the intel loop. So with that intel loop, with our combat, and with the way we integrated teamwork, we feel like we've got something that stands out that actually does fill the void that we felt like has been in the industry for a while, within the genre for a while.
Package secure. Standing by for extract.